Hello everyone, since Power Rangers Super Mega Force is not going to come back until the fall, I say why not pick up something very interesting and something I enjoyed when I was little, none other than Sailor Moon Crystal. Well, actually Sailor Moon, but now it's called Sailor Moon Crystal. And there's like many things we could talk about on this one. So this is episode 1, and if you haven't seen episode 1, I think you should turn this off because this is a spoiler. And that's for people who are like, oh, I saw the original Sailor Moon series. Yeah, I still say turn it off because it's best to watch it than anything. And I do have to admit, when it comes to Sailor Moon's final attack, they changed it. But they changed it in a way that it's actually better. Yeah, because remember what happened in the original series, and I'll just use this as first thing. I'm going to the end first, apparently. So she took off her tiara, and all of a sudden it turned into a frisbee slash boomerang. Apparently now it's called boomerang. But yeah, I mean, she took off her tiara, and it just turned into a beam of light. In this one, she took off the tiara spinned around, and it turned into a circular thing, like a frisbee. And then it turned into a whirling beam of light frisbee. Yeah, technically, I don't get why they'll call it a boomerang. I do get it, the fact that it'll come back to her. That's why they call it the boomerang. Frisbees, you throw the frisbee, it doesn't come back. I understand why they call it a boomerang. Anyways, the real point is just the fact of it's better. Now let's go with the actual episode itself. The actual episode itself, it started out similar but different. I mean, lots of things changed. The mom's hair is now purple instead of the dark brunette color it was. And, well, I do have to admit, the drawing style is different. It really is. It technically is modern. It's modernized, of course, but it kind of turned modernized way too much, I guess. What I'm saying is just the fact of all the sailors, chances are with Serena right here, aka Usagi, it kind of seems like they're too big to be 8th graders. Personally, that's what I think. They're too big to be 8th graders. Given I can't tell them, hey, you should change them to like she's in 9th grade or something, or 10th grade or 11th grade, somewhere that it can actually make sense of the height, because 8th graders, they're not that tall. Personally, they're not that tall, and to be that tall is kind of, I get it, you're trying to make it feel superhero like, I get it, but still it's kind of not that tall. Anyways, let's continue on. So you basically get the whole entire thing layout. You find her friend. You actually get introduced to her professor this time. You actually get the English teacher's name, which I guess you do get the English teacher's name in the beginning, but they made it more apparent instead of what happened previously. Along with that, you also get a different scenario of when you get Serena meet Luna, aka Luna meets Usagi. The fact of, instead of a bunch of kids while she's walking to school who are like, oh, you cat, let's throw a rock at him, yeah, and all that stuff, and they were in like some kind of abandoned junkyard or gas station. And basically, in the original one, Serena was like, leave her alone, you stupid kids, stupid boys messing with a cat. Yeah, so she shoot him off, saved the cat, and he's like, oh, you have a bandage, let me take it off of you. The stupid boys being rotten as hell. She threw it down, and then the cat scurried away. But in this case, it's more like she freaking stepped on her. Dang, yeah. You had Usagi stepping on Luna. That was, I don't even, that's horrible. Yeah, but they do have to think, but she got scratched. And I do have to admit, that's like one thing that is kind of like, I get why they don't want to keep the scratches there, but I'm just saying, the fact of she's hurt and stuff, and she recovers that fast. It kind of like, I wish they do explain it a lot. I wish they could explain it, saying, well, she was, at least, even though she's kind of bad of a student, she does have a good generation rate or whatever. But anyways, the cat scratched her. She's like, oh my, you have bandages on your forehead, and she took it off. Of course, the same thing that exists is the whole idea of, oh, you have a moon-shaped bald spot there. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Let's see, and then continuing on, you after that. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry everyone, but this baby, I freezed it because it ended. Actually, I should see the ending to see how it goes. I mean, the ending theme, but yeah. Yeah, there's a baby commercial, and the baby's freaking me out because I froze it at a messed up time. But anyways, let's continue on. So, after that, she was late to school. Since she went to school, yeah, you know all the things that I told you, and that, and let's see. Well, one thing that is different is the fact of it came to after school, and it was Serena and her friend that was in trouble in the original episode and this episode. They were walking together, and well, actually, one thing I do have to say before I continue on with the whole, but the friend and Serena already knew about Sailor V. It doesn't make sense. She was like, Sailor V, never heard of her. And heck, even the mom actually hinted at the fact of, she was like, oh, I wish my daughter can learn something from Sailor V. But anyways, let's continue on. The fact of she actually dreamed. She had a dream. And that's how it really started, was with the dream sequence of her and Tuxedo Mask before times, I guess you can say in quotations. And she had another dream sequence within this episode too. But why even continue on with that? So yeah, it's basically the idea of Serena Usagi never even heard about Sailor V, and yeah. Which in the original one, she was more like, oh yeah, Sailor V. Oh, the new video game's out? Oh, no way. Let's go in and play it. Instead, it's more like she didn't know, and then as soon as she walked by the arcade place, she's like, oh, so this is Sailor V. I might as well go in and check out that video game. And she did, and she was good at it and all that stuff. And then you had the clerk guy who was in the first thing, you know, the first franchise thing, whatever, first series 2. He's back. And then you had the cat who, yeah, you had Luna coming, and Luna giving the whole stalker face. The fact of she just straight up looks at Usagi, not even going meow, she just straight up looked at Usagi. So within that whole episode, there was also where the rich girl, aka Usagi's friend, was said that she has bargains now at her mom's store, and they all went down there. And this is also the same part that goes straight down to the whole she's go to the arcade. But anyways, she went to the place and she was like, oh yeah, with my grades, same thing like in the first series. Now here's the crazy part, is the fact that Tuxedo Mask, aka Darien, or I think she starts with the M word. Sorry, I just can't remember the Japanese name for him. But anyways, Darien shows up, but Darien's already pimped out in the Tuxedo Mask suit. It's just that he doesn't have the glasses or the top hat yet. So, and it looks like he actually is looking for something called the legendary crystal. So you already have him fully exposed. And if I remember correctly, with the first series of this, is that Darien doesn't know that he's Tuxedo Mask. It's the fact of deep inside he can sense Serena needs his help. So that's when he loses consciousness and he goes after her. Along with Moon Knight or Moon Sultan. I forgot what it was. But yeah, all alter egos of Darien knew that Sailor Moon was in trouble, and they came to the rescue and said, Darien, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to take your body over a little bit. And Darien just blacked out. I think that's what usually happens. But in this one, Darien knows who he is, and he's actually know that he should go for, well, in this case, they're looking for the crystal, which I already finished episode 18 of the original franchise of Sailor Moon, and that's where they first actually mentioned the legendary crystal is episode 18 instead of episode 1 here. So they go straight to the point. They go straight to the point. I don't think there's anything else special besides the bad guys. They're all back. All the original bad guys are back, and you get to have a little sneak peek of who's going to come next, which is Sailor Mercury, which is kind of funny. The fact of it started raining and she touched the water, it's touched the raindrops. It's just funny. That is some good. I guess the only thing that left to talk about is the transformation, and the fact of the transformation is even better. It's more in depth now, and they actually learned from the English adaptation. They learned the fact, well, technically, they most likely got their idea from the original one and the series. The fact that the original theme song and the series kind of influenced the whole transformation thing and how she does the final attack. Which, in the English dub, you basically have that not being a problem, and they actually make it mystical and pretty cool, actually. And this one, they do the exact same thing as the English adaptation. But I think it could be just more the fact of they have a new person making their theme song, which I enjoy their theme song, and the theme song helped their transformation and helped the final battle thing. That's about it. I guess the only thing, and I'll close it out after this, is the fact of they use USAGI's cry because, well, I think Serena whines, but she never really cries that much. Yeah, she just whines. In the original version, in Usagi's case, she cries. And so in this point, she straight up cried so much and so loud that she made an ultra sound attack. So that's something even cooler to do, is the fact of not only making everything better, but you even made her weakness, the weak point of why I'm saying, oh my gosh, the Japanese original version sucks. You basically made that and turned it into something I'm like, oh, well, it does suck, but look at it. It actually does work. It's a weapon she can use, which will come in handy a lot of times, I bet. So, yeah. When it comes to rating this thing, I would like to say that it is better than the original. So, my rating point will actually be, should you watch it or should you not watch it? In this episode, in this new series they created, I say you need to watch this. Better if you could wait for the English dub. Maybe he'll come. Maybe. I would just say maybe he'll come. But if it doesn't come, well, I just say, why don't you just do this and watch the sub? And I'll even put the episode down below, so you're even able to actually just click down below in your enjoyment. And also, I would like to say that in terms of Hulu actually saying, screw you, Viz Media, and they actually are like, yeah, we're booting it from our programming. You also can find it on Crunchyroll, which chances are Crunchyroll will be a better choice. But Hulu is good. I'm just saying Crunchyroll most likely will have it forever and ever. Amen. So thank you for listening, and I am just webbing out. Peace. Web.